Hey, what is happening, everybody? You are back with the Real PG for another NBA player picks video for today, Friday, November the 18th. Before we get started, if I could ask you guys to please smash that like button. We're looking for upwards of 100 likes on the video today. If you have not yet subscribed to the page, you got to make sure and get subscribed and hit that bell for notifications where you are getting the most up-to-date information on player lines, player injuries, and anything else in regards to today's slate. Last but not least, there's going to be a huge announcement dropping on Monday that will be benefiting everybody in my community majorly, especially those who are interested in my Patreon. The Patreon group runs at a price of $20 for the base package and $40 for the VIP package. As of next week, there's going to be a promotion, a big promotion in regards to the Patreon and how you can get in there for free. I will drop more news on this on Monday. Please stay on top of the news because it is a limited amount of people who will be able to do this. So again, with that being said, in the description section, there will be a link for the Discord as well as the Patreon if you want to check them out on your own time. In the Discord, if you come in and you come to the testimonial section, you will see all the Patreon news, all sorts of stuff, all the winning lineups we've had lately, all sorts of comments from people about what they've been seeing on the Patreon. If we look at yesterday, we had another big night. Went 5-1-1 with a win on Simons Barnes, all the Lillard props. Lost on Sabonis assist, and we pushed Jeremy Grant rebounds. So it was a great day, great day. So with that being said, let's get on to these picks, guys. So today, the slate, like I said, is a little complicated right now. There's lots of game time decisions, lots of questionables, and lots of outs. So there's going to be major usage shifts. There's going to be major rotational shifts. So I would say to stay light today, keep your money in your pocket for a better day. But we're going to give you a couple picks that I do have a good amount of confidence in. So let's start with Ja Morant. And we're going to be looking at Ja's rebounds today. So he's at 5.5. I assume this will be bumped to 6. All the lines on Pinnacle are down right now due to the amount of people that are questionable. So we'll be using DraftKings lines, which I really don't like as much, but it's better than nothing. So let's head into that game and let's take a look at what Ja is slated for as far as his projection on what Las Vegas thinks about his rebounds. So Ja Morant comes in at a whopping minus 140 at over 5.5, plus 105 to the under. Big time value. If we look at what kind of spot Ja is in today, as far as the matchup goes, I actually have that on the other screen, don't I? I do. Give 1 second, I'll pop that up. We will take a look at Ja's matchup. All right. So we're looking at the point guard versus Oklahoma City today. And we're looking at rebounds. So we're going to put rebounds to the top. Scroll down till we find OKC. And there they are. We have a top 10 matchup in rebounds, averaging 6.51 per game to the point guard. If we look at the shooting guard, if Shai is in the shooting guard position, we will look at the rebounds, and we will scroll down till we find the same thing. We're looking for OKC. And there they are. They are top 15, so they're about a middle-of-the-road matchup. If you were interested in his points, you can look at the points and see what he was coming in at. So, looking for OKC. So, yeah, OKC is giving up 24.36 a game to the point guard. For whatever reason, he's not technically running the points. 23 points. So, it's way shy of what he's going to be at. So, for what it's worth, the rebounds is the best look for Morant. I've seen a lot of love for his points, and I totally understand that play. because Ja has been absolutely getting loose. He's hitting 2 of 5, but he's basically hitting 4 of 5. He's been within one basket and 4 of 5 or hits. But today that prop is not for me. I'm strongly sticking to the rebounds for Morant. Next, we are going to be taking a look at... Let me see what I put in my Patreon picks, and we're going to find the best ones real quick. Make sure I can give you guys some quality picks today here, since the slate is really difficult to begin with. I want to see who's got these badass matchups. All right, so next, we're going to be looking at Tyrese Halliburton and his assist at a whopping 10.5. It's a big number, but Tyrese has cleared it 4 of the last 5. If we look at his Vegas line on DraftKings, if we hop into the Indiana game, and we come down to the assist section in the player props, and we will find Tyrese Halliburton at a minus 120 over 10.5. This line has moved a little bit. Again, I don't love DraftKings and their lines to begin with. I don't think they're very accurate, so I'm not putting much into that. But if that line bugs you, you can stay away from it. As far as his matchup today, though, let's look at both the point guard and the shooting guard, because he could be located in either. And he is going to be up against Houston in a very high-paced matchup, causing for more shots, causing for more assists, and so on. So let's look at, first we'll look at the point guard against Houston as far as the assist goes. Number 1 matchup. Bang. Number 1 matchup in assists. So let's be more specific to the shooting guard and their assist. And we are looking again for Houston. Can't imagine them being too far down. Yep, there they are. So you got about a top 12 matchup for the shooting guard, and you got a number 1 matchup for the point guard, which I would assume Tyrese will be running at a majority of the time, giving up 11 rebounds per game, exactly what we need. So I do think it's going to be squeezing it tight, but in the matchup with the position he's in, I like 10.5. If it gets bumped to 11, it's out of the question completely. Same with Morant. If he gets bumped, it's out of the question. Everybody today is already too high. If they get bumped, they're out of the question. Next, let's take a look at somebody who has been incredibly beastie on the points front, but we're not going to be looking at a points prop for him today. SGA, 31.5 points. He has hit 4 of the last 5. I do not blame anybody for taking this because of how hot Shai has been. But me personally, I'm going to steer off the beaten path, and I'm going to be looking at his assists today. So we got his assists set at 6. He's hit in the last 3 of the 5 games with 8, 8, and 7. Prior to that, 2 tough matchups in Milwaukee and Toronto with 4 apiece. So if we look at SGA's matchup today, we will be having a point guard / shooting guard against Memphis, and we are looking at his assist, we said? Yep. So we're going to have assist to the top. We'll start with the point guard. We'll start with overall. Why not? Overall assist. And we're looking for the Memphis Grizzlies. Okay. So let's scroll down until we find Memphis as a whole. Okay, they're top 10 matchup for assist as a whole. Let's look how the point guards do against Memphis in assist. They are a top 5 matchup for SGA if he is running the points. At shooting guard, doesn't look like he has quite as good of a matchup. How far down do we have to scroll before we find Memphis? Okay, he has definitely got an above average matchup today, to say the least, no matter where they locate him on the floor. I feel very great about how he's been playing. So you can certainly look to his assist. You can look at his points and assist. Let's take a look on the books and see what they have Shai at. Right, so Shai's points, minus 115 to both sides, so it's a 50-50 coin flip, that's fine. And if we come down to Shai's assist, he is minus 150 over 5.5. Pretty insane. So we're going to take that value, plus 120 to the under, and we're going to run with that value in that matchup. So we have those 3 picks right there. I'm going to include a 4th if somebody wants a 4th pick. Last but not least, we're going to be looking at Deandre Ayton. And we are going to be looking at DeAndre's points. Oh, that might be a lie. Let me see what I wrote down. I thought we were looking at his points for some reason. Yeah, we're definitely looking at his points. Okay. Don't be fooled by this then, I guess. 14, game against Minnesota with 9, 14, 16, 14. So he's been a bucket shy every single game, basically. Why are we on him then, is the question, right? So let's take a look in the books. First, always the first move to finding your player pool, at least for me, is to find in the books the lines that make sense. And then we go into the matchup from there. So let's see what Deandre Ayton's game line is for points. Minus 125 to the over, plus or minus 105 to the under, 16.5. So he is shaded to the over, not by much, but let's dig in a little further. Let's see if Chris Paul has a designation for today. Chris Paul is a game time decision, questionable with the heel. If he's out, all the better. Even though he could be feeding him plenty, they have had no problem getting the ball down low to Ayton lately. So let's take a look at his matchups. We're going to be looking at the center versus the Utah Jazz. And we're looking at points. So we're going to scroll points to the top. And if you see Utah is right there at 26 points per game to the center. 26. We need, how many? 16? 17 points. They're giving up 10 more per game to a talented center who's going to get run as long as he doesn't get himself into foul trouble. I don't see that happening. Playing against Rudy and Katz, I see him getting them in foul trouble, if anything. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to leave you with those 4 picks. I wish I had Pinnacle to verify the lines, but I may do another video later with some updated lines. We'll see. Again, it's another great reason to be a part of the Discord, and better yet, a reason to be part of the Patreon, because you will have, in the top tier, you will have access to me all day long. So, yeah, check it out on your time. See if it's for you. And come next week, we'll have a huge announcement, and hopefully we will be able to get everybody who has interest in being in the Patreon into the Patreon. And we will talk more about that on Monday. Until then, guys, I wish you the best of luck if you are tailing, and peace.